Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, thank you very much for joining on this, in spite of these long weekend holidays. So, we'll continue reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, Sainya Darshan, and today we will discuss the shloka number 41. So, let us chant the shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So let us chant the shloka. Sankaro Narkayeva
Sankaro Narakayaiva
Kulaghnanam Kulasya Cha
Kulagnanam Kulasya Cha
Patanti Pitaro Hi Esham Yesham
Patanti Pittaro Hesham
Luptapindo Daka Kriya.
Luptapindo Tadakriyaha
Sankaro Narkayeva
Sankaro Narakayaiva
Kulaghnanam Kulasya Cha
Kulagnanam Kulasya Cha
Patanti Pitaro Yesham
Patanti Pittaro Hesham
Luptapindo Daka Kriya.
Luptapindo Tadakriyaha.
Anybody wants to chant?
शङ्करो नरकायेव कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रिया
Sankaro Narakayaiva Kulagnanam Kulasya Cha Patanti Pittaro Hesham Luptapinto Tatakriyaha.
Okay. If no one else, we will read translation and purport. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance of for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Purport. According to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, there is need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. This offering is performed by worship of Vishnu because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reaction, and sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross body and are forced to remain in the subtle bodies as ghosts. And thus, when remnants of prasadam food are offered to the forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition, and those who are not in devotional service are required to perform such rituals. One who is engaged in the devotional service is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver the hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. It is stated in Bhagavatam 11.5.41. Devarshi bhutaptandranam pitram na kinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmana sahasa sharanam Sharanam Gato Mukundam Pariritya Kartum. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation and has taken to the path of all in all seriousness, all neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, and forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service. So, here Arjuna is continuing his uh, talk with Krishna and he's giving the reasons uh, for not prepared to fighting or not ready to fight. So last to that, Arjuna explains like if we kill the soldiers or senior members of the family out on the battlefield, then the family will be without any senior member. Then everyone in this family will become active in the religious or dharmic activities. And here today he's saying what happens when the family, like yesterday shloka we saw that men and women who if they do the irreligious activities, that's a sinful thing, and that result of that irreligious activities is given in the today's verse, an increase of unwanted population. So as we were saying yesterday that when the dharma is lost, then there is exploitation of men and women, basic mainly, and that results in unwanted progeny and unwanted population. And practically, we can see the kids or the people who don't get a proper bringing up or proper dharmic bringing up or even love of their parents, they when they grow up they become very um, sensitive, or they become very attacking, or they act in a manner which is very difficult to understand, and that these people don't have love or they don't trust anyone. So if there are more people like this in the society, then the complete society will become population is more in the world is not following the dharma, they will stop the dharmic or the kula activities or dharmic activities. Like one of the activity mentioned here is obligations to oblations to the forefathers. So this is a duty that is mentioned in the Puranas and Shastras for the Grihasthas, that they have to offer the oblations to the forefathers because that helps the forefathers. And recently there was Pitru Paksha, right? So we have seen in the Pitru Paksha there were Ekadashi, and in the Ekadashi Mahatmya also it was mentioned that if you offer food or prasadam to the forefathers, then forefathers, even if they are in the Yamaloka, they get the benefit of that, and which actually elevates them. But when the whole family or most of the population is engaged in irreligious activities, they will stop these um, offerings to forefathers and their ancestors. What is the result? The result is that those forefathers will not get a liberation, or they will not get um, higher life. And Prabhupada also mentioned about ghosts that they won't get the cross body to complete their life cycle. And we know, like, if mother and father they unite in a proper uh, atmosphere, then the kids or the soul who takes birth in that family is also sattvic and has godly qualities. But if men and women they unite in a situation which is not auspicious, then the result is also bad or horrible. Like we have the example in Srimad Bhagavatam of Devahuti, Kardamuni, and Devahuti, I think, where they unite at a time when Shiva is wandering in the um three world with the ghosts and spirits. So that was not an auspicious time to unite, but they unite in that time, and out of because of that, the demons are born. So it depends on the consciousness and the following of the dharmic rules. So this is applicable to us also. Only exceptions are the devotees who are worshipping the Vishnu or Krishna directly. I have seen all these rituals that we do for our forefathers or ancestors done by the Brahmins. So without the knowledge, you cannot understand the mantras that they are chanting. All these mantras are everything they are offering to Vishnu. So the mantras are like that only. So if you don't know really the mantras or if you don't have knowledge, you don't understand that which mantra is this and for what. But we can generally observe that Sri Krishna Arpanamastu or Vishnave Namo Nama. These are the final wordings, or these are the final mantra that they say if after each offering. So that offering is given to Vishnu. So, and then after the puja is over, then we offer it to our pitras. So that's the process. Like give prasadam of Vishnu to the forefathers. So we are required to do this because devotees are directly worshipping. Krishna has given the Shastri shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, and which mentions that if you are directly worshipping Krishna, then you are not bound by these ritualistic regulations and obligations to your forefathers or any other obligations in the Varnashram Dharma. So that's the advantage or that's the benefit of worshipping directly Vishnu or Krishna. And because in Vaishna Varnashram for Grahastha, there are so many rules that we have to follow. And in current Kali Yuga lifestyle, we actually cannot do all those things. But if we worship Krishna, then all the rituals are already done. That's a great boon. So Arjuna is mentioning here that because of the family tradition is lost, the children are children's will do the religious activities and then it will impact the whole society. So he says his sentence was, though Kaurav don't understand the effect of this war because of their greed, we understand. So here he in these last 2 3 shlokas he is explaining what will happen because he said he understands. So what he understands? He understands these 3 shlokas that ultimately the result will be irreligion will be spread. So even if we fight for dharma and win this battle, he thinks that there will be religion. So apart, in spite of for doing that, he thinks it's better. I should not fight. So next 2 3 shlokas in this chapter, Arjuna gives some more reason, and then uh, then the chapter almost ends when he keeps aside his bow and arrow. So these are few points of today's shloka that we can practically apply in our life. So if anybody has any question or realization or sharing, then we have few minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
if we are a devotee, if we are a devotee, we no need to do, we don't, we no need to do all the rituals. So devotee in the sense is just worshipping Krishna or Vishnu become a devotee, or only if we get initiation only we become a devotee.
So the main quality explained here is if you see this shloka, uh, has taken to this path in all seriousness. And one of the main quality here is Krishna mentions that is surrender. So when you surrender your life for service of Vishnu or Krishna, then that becomes the uh, qualification. And surrendering process includes this initiation process that you um take a vow to dedicate your life. So that's a surrender. So yes, it includes one of the thing is in initiation. But if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with full faith, without any personal motives, just to satisfy Krishna, and you have full surrender and faith in Krishna, then that qualification also takes you to become devotee. Initiation
Thank you.
Mata is one of the step we take by surrender.
Yeah, surrender in the sense it's not a telling by words, it's we are to show our action to Krishna, the how we are pleasing Krishna. That's a real surrender, is it?
Correct. Yeah, surrendering your body, mind, and speech to Krishna, and using them for preaching of Krishna or Vishnu. That is surrender.
Then, as long as we have the human body, we have to keep serving Krishna. That's the meaning.
Yeah,
Uh,
and initiation we do take because mantras like goes
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I couldn't hear.
me. So in the can you hear now?
Yes, yes, I
Hare
can
Krishna.
hear. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can
So
hear.
through Guru, okay, thank you. So through Guru we serve Krishna, right? And Guru helps us to surrender to Krishna. So some of the mantras that are required for deity worship, we cannot chant without initiation. So to serve Krishna more directly, also we take the initiation. Yeah, but that is an additional qualification to have. And the main thing, like you also mentioned, is complete surrender and don't have any personal motives.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Okay, thank you very much for joining today. And we'll continue reading from Bhagavad Gita every day because this is a Purushottam or Adhik Mas. And the more we read, the more we talk about Vishnu and Krishna, the more benefits we have directly or indirectly. So thank you very much for joining and see you tomorrow. We will continue with the next slokas. See what Arjuna has to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.